Post Malone's album Austin is just over a week away, so today we are going to rank all of his songs off of albums. D tier is going to be songs I just don't like, C tier are songs that are okay, B tier are songs that are good, A tier are songs that are great, and S tier are songs that are perfect. So if your favorite song's in C tier, do not get mad at me, okay? They're still okay. With that being said, let's jump into the first song off of Stony, Broken Whiskey Glass. This song really is what started it off. Broken Whiskey Glass has a very cool atmosphere to it. The build up is awesome. It goes into a sick rap verse. It really gets you started for the journey that is Post Malone's music. So with that being said, I'm throwing Broken Whiskey Glass into A tier to start us off today. And we're going to follow that up with Big Lie. Where does Big Lie fall? Well, Big Lie is actually a really awesome song. I feel it's slightly underrated. No one really talks about it in terms of their big Post Malone songs, as he has much bigger songs now, especially because he's so radio hit friendly, you know? With that being said, he has some great rapping in this. The chorus is really cool. I love the chorus. It's powerful. I'm feeling B tier for Big Lie. So starting off strong with the first two songs. We're not going to be so strong here, though, because the next song is Deja Vu. And I know Justin Bieber, Post Malone, like, that's awesome. This song's just not the vibe. It's not it for me. I don't love it. I don't love Post Malone's part. I don't love Justin Bieber's part. I think the chorus is boring. I think it's just a boring song. Extremely underwhelming. I'm feeling D tier, as I will never play this song ever. Alright, don't worry. Just because we got a D tier in here doesn't mean it's going to fall off completely. We pick it back up because No Option is the next song. This song's very enjoyable to listen to. I love the breakup in the beat. I love the vocal performance. I love the chorus. I love the rapping in this song. The verses are amazing. He does really good at singing in this song. It's a B tier song. So we got Big Lie and No Option in B tier off of Stony. Cold is by no means a bad song. It does not keep you drawn to the song for the more than 4-minute runtime it has, though. It definitely lacks enough to keep it from being anything higher than B tier for me. Therefore, it's going into C tier. White Iverson, this is obviously one of the most nostalgic, huge, generational songs of Post's entire career. For me, it's A tier. I get it being S tier for a lot of y'all, but I'm only putting my personal favorites to S tier, and this is just outside of it for me. A tier is still amazing, though. Speaking of personal favorites, here we go. I Fall Apart, the first song to hit S tier. This song is another generational song for Post. Beautiful singing, it's heartbreaking, it's wonderful to listen to. Every time I hear this song, I get taken back to the first time I've ever heard it. Patient is another underrated song in my opinion. The rapping is executed well, another solid chorus, but it's not in the top Post Malone songs, which is saved for A tier and above, so Patient will be welcomed into the B tier. Go Flex is a classic Posty song. Amazing rapping, great chorus, and guitar. It's amazing and nostalgic, and in my top 15 Post songs. Therefore, it's going to be an A tier. Feel is a very unmemorable song for me. It falls under a lot of the issues I find in Stony, where the lower tier songs are just quite underwhelming. I'm feeling a C tier for this one. Too Young is definitely a classic, but I think it falls short of being on the same level of some of other Posty's hits. I think B tier is fair for it. It's very good, but not great or perfect. Here is another one of the generational bangers. Yeah, it was overplayed at its peak, but this is such a party anthem. Congratulations. It's been here for years. It's been a party anthem for years. I wasn't even into music at the time of this song's release, yet still love the vibe this song brought to any situation. A tier is where it'll go. It isn't a perfect song, but it is a staple in Post's career, and I think A tier is very justified. Up There is another underrated banger on Stony. It's very enjoyable to listen to with a great chorus, fun instrumental. It just lacks enough risks to be any higher than B tier. Lots of underrated songs falling into B tier here. Yours truly, Austin Post, isn't bad. It's very chill, safe song. Nothing super special about it, but it's enjoyable enough to listen. I'm thinking C tier makes sense for it. Hey, if you've made it this far into the video, don't forget to subscribe. I got new videos coming out weekly, and your sub helps me out majorly. Talk about an underrated hit. We have Leave. Leave is absolutely beautiful. I love this song so much. I don't hear many people talking about it, but it's an incredible song for me. Personally, I'm feeling A tier. It's a slower jam, but the singing is beautiful, and it's low-key in my top Post songs ever. I don't know if that's bold of me to say or not, but it's an amazing song. Hit This Hard is tough. It definitely takes risks, and I appreciate that. It's one of the most unique songs off of Stony, production-wise, vocally. Everything about it is a different type of vibe. It does not hit so hard. No? Not a single laugh. Alright. C tier it is. Money Made Me Do It is so sad to me because Post kills it. I love the energy. Post verse and chorus are great, but that 2 Chainz feature is not it for me. Like, at all. I can't get behind it. and it drops it from potentially being a B tier song into the C tier for me. Alright, Feeling Whitney is one of the most beautiful songs Post has ever made. It hits you in all the feels and concludes the album experience in a great way. As a song, this is a highly ranked one for me. I'm gonna throw it into A tier. It's great, it's sad, that's what it's gonna conclude the Stony segment of the tier list. Now we will move on to my favorite album he's ever released, Beer Bongs and Bentleys, starting it off with Paranoid, a slapper. I love this song. The singing is great, the lyrics are amazing, it's awesome, and it's jumping right into A tier. Post is 2 for 2 on intros to his albums. He follows it up with Spoil My Night. It's a bit of a letdown of a song. It has some cringy bars, I don't care for Sway Lee's feature, it's a mid-song, everything about it, it's C tier. Rich and Sad is one of the greatest songs Post Malone has ever made. If you disagree, you're childish. Or you just have a different opinion than me, but, this is the most obvious S tier rating with that being said. Zack and Codeine is a fun song, nothing perfect, but still a good song. Not a top amongst the Beer Bongs and Bentleys era, but still solid. I'm feeling B tier. Taking Shots is such a fun song, the chorus is so amusing, it's put together really well, while still lacking some elements of the bigger bangers on this record. B tier for Taking Shots works for me. Perhaps the biggest song Post has ever made. Rockstar stands the test of time, still banging, still a party anthem, great 21 Savage feature, the vibes on this song can't be replicated, it's an easy S tier song. Over Now. Literally such a fantastic song. This might be a shock to some, but this is my favorite Post Malone song ever made. The hardest breakup song ever made. It makes you feel like you're a boss. Just listening to this song boosts my ego. It's S tier, it's my favorite, it's the best. Feel free to disagree, but it's fantastic. Alright, we got Psycho. It's a very fun song, of course being huge during its release, and still is one of Post's bigger songs to date. It's great, very chill vibes. It's another one of those songs where you can play on aux and you're safe. It's an A tier song for me though. Better Now. Possibly the biggest breakup anthem ever. This song is immaculate. S tier without any doubt, and I don't think a lot of people will disagree with that. Ball for me sucks. Everything about the song isn't great. It's an easy D tier ranking for me. It's even worse than Deja Vu to me. It's just not the vibe. Other Side is underrated. It's beautiful, amazing singing, great lyrics. I do think it gets held back when you compare it to the other songs on this album, so it's gonna stay at B tier for me, but it's still fantastic. And speaking of Stay is in my top 5 Post songs ever. This is an incredible song. Everyone knows the song. It's flawless, beautiful guitar solo, beautiful singing, beautiful writing. It's S tier easily. Followed up by Blame It On Me. It's so hard. It's a major banger alert. Fantastic singing, lyrics, production, the energy's amazing. It's another S tier song. So many off of Beer Bongs and Bentleys fit into S tier here. Alright, we got Same, B's. We'll just say B's. It's so mid. The energy is fun, I suppose, but it does not make it a good song. G-Eazy is on it, so what do you think it's going to be? C tier, mid. Jonestown is an interlude, and it honestly isn't bad at all. It's just not a song I'm going to replay or revisit like ever. It's going into D tier just for that reason. 92 Explorer is just a fun banger, enjoyable to listen to. It plays it safe. It's more of the filler song on Beer Bongs and Bentleys, but one of the better ones. I'm going to go B tier with it. Candy Paint. This might be weird to say, but Candy Paint it's not great to me. It's a very whatever type of song. Nothing special about it, the energy is mid, it's just C tier. I know it's loved by so many people, but it isn't one of the best Post songs by any stretch, and it's just not for me. Sugar Wraith is a great song and a great closer for the album. His vibes are fire. He mentions Anthony Fantano on the song. The guy I'm better than, of course. So with that being said, I'm going to put it in A tier. I think Sugar Wraith is a major banger right here. And with that being said, Beer Bongs and Bentleys is my favorite Post album. We're done with it, and now we're heading over to Hollywood's Bleedin', which has some of the weaker Post Malone songs he's ever made, but that's okay. Here we go. Hollywood's Bleeding is another good start to an album. Posty continues that trend, but just falling short of Broken Whiskey Glass and Paranoid's vibes, I'm feeling a B tier for this one. He follows it up with Saint Tropez. Although it's a banger, it's very basic and a bit mediocre as time has passed on. It's fun and all, but nothing special. Feeling C tier, and I have a feeling a lot of these songs are going to be C tier, just based on the track list. Enemies is a decent listen, but nothing special. DaBaby was in his feature era bag here, but just like so many songs on this album, it isn't perfect, and it's not a perfect feature by DaBaby. It's a C tier song for me as well. Allergic is very unique, creative, and it's enjoyable to listen to. Better than the previous 2 tracks, I'm feeling B tier for it. 1,000 Bad Times is a fun listen. The chorus gets more epic every time it plays. It has fun, good writing. It is another B tier song. Here we go. Generational song. Circles is a banger. Biggest hit of the album. It has to go S tier. It was everywhere. This song's fantastic. It's S tier. Die For Me is underwhelming with the most random features, and it's mid. C tier. Duh. On the Road has, once again, many features that are underwhelming, very basic. It's once again just another C tier song. Take What You Want brings back the hype to this album. Although a weird collab of features between Posty, Ozzy Osbourne, and Travis Scott, it manages to work somehow with epic guitar solos, and it's an incredible listen. I'm feeling A tier for it. I'm Gonna Be is a bit of a repetitive song. It plays it really safe, not taking too many risks while still being okay. It's C tier for me. Staring at the Sun with SZA, she does very good on this record, but the song as a whole is so mid to me. There's nothing too special about it. It's another C tier song on an album full of them. Alright, Sunflower is really not my cup of tea. I get the appeal, it's fun, it blew up, and maybe that's why it doesn't hit so hard for me because I've heard it so much, but I still rank some of his biggest, most overplayed songs higher. This one's just not for me, it's B tier for me. Internet was very okay. It ends so abruptly. I still remember my first listen to it. I thought the song was just beginning when it ended. It was a bit of a letdown. It's just gonna go in C tier. Goodbyes is awesome. Good writing, fun chorus. Post has a very good vocal performance on it. Young Thug's verse isn't for me though. It kind of knocks it down a little bit. Still a B tier song though. Myself once again uses the common term use of underwhelming. It's well written. I like the concept of the song, but it's nothing special song wise. It's C tier. I know sounds very appealing, but it truly doesn't do anything special. So many songs on this album played as too safe, and it's yet another C tier song, I'm sorry. Wow is a hit. It's catchy, it's fun, everyone's heard it. That being said, it's not as strong as some of his bigger hits in his discography. I'm throwing it into B tier here. Molly Crew was a single released between Hollywood's Bleeding and 12 Karat Toothache. It's a hype track, but the singing on it's very mid. I think it's a great song to fit into the C tier. Starting it off with 12 Karat Toothache, we have Reputation. Post sings his heart out on this track. He starts off the record strong as always, and I think this song fits perfectly into the A tier. Cooped Up was the first single off of 12 Karat Toothache, I believe, and yeah, it's fun, but it's super basic. It does not stand next to any of his bigger singles off of previous albums. It's C tier. Lemon Tree is a beautiful song, and I love it. I know some people don't like the little country thing he does with his voice in it. It's still all around a very solid song. I'm feeling B tier for it. Wrapped Around Your Finger is a major banger. It does not get talked about nearly as much as it should. This song's great, and I'm throwing it in A tier. I Like You is one of the biggest songs off this album. It's very fun, catchy. He dances like a beast to this song at live shows. It has Doja Cat in it with a sick verse. It's another Posty hit. I think A tier is fair. I Cannot Be is probably one of the most forgettable Post Malone songs for me. It has Gunna on it with an okay feature, but everything about the song is just okay. That being said, I'm throwing it into C tier. Insane is a banger, honestly. It's very different from the rest of the songs on the album, and I appreciate that. I think B tier is good for it, although I get giving it a C tier rating. Love Hate Letter to Alcohol is one of Post's deepest, most creative songs, and I do love that about it. It's a great song, but I feel the replay value of it isn't strong enough to have it anywhere but B tier for me. Wasting Angels has my boy Leroy on it. They both sing their hearts out. It's very well written, and I love it. It holds a special place in my heart, but I feel like it's a B tier song if we're being real. Euthanasia is so sad. It's super slow, but he makes it work. The singing over it sounds great. The atmosphere of it's truly something. It's a good song. I'm throwing it in B tier. When I'm Alone is underrated. Definitely a good song without pushing too many boundaries. It plays it safe, but it's still enjoyable. It's a B tier song as well. Waiting for a Miracle is very well written, kind of giving the similar vibes of Euthanasia with a slow song. Not doing a ton, but it's a lot more basic to me than something like Euthanasia. That said, I'm giving it C tier. One Right Now with The Weeknd is a very fun, enjoyable song. These two on a track together have the chance to make one of the biggest bangers ever, but it fails short of that superstar song status for me, so I'm going to throw it in B tier. And New Recording, it's literally just a demo of Euthanasia, so it's D tier. Nobody's going to go back to this one. Now we're moving on to his latest singles for the Austin album. He started off with Chemical. It's a very similar song to Circles for me. It's a big banger, it's fun, and everyone's going to know it. It does fall just short of capitalizing what Circles did capture, though. Still being one of his biggest hits, proving he's still got it. It's an A tier song for me. Warning is super well written and put together, but it isn't as fun of a listen for me like Chemical is. I'm going to put it in B tier just to be safe. His newest single, Overdrive, is really good. It's a very cute song, very peaceful, but a bit one-dimensional and quite short. With those cons in the way, I still think it's very enjoyable, and I'm going to slot it in B tier to conclude this list. So that's it. There's my Post Malone tier list for every song he's dropped up until his album Austin fully releases. Did you agree? Disagree? Let me know what you change. Remember, this is just my opinion, but feel free to discuss yours down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I got a full album breakdown of Post Malone's Austin album coming soon after it drops. Stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.